Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Seva Gurukulam chemistry class. The topic is chemical reactions and equations. Already we have seen in part 2 some of the important things with regard to this, and first one was physical and chemical changes. The changes which are very temporary are called physical changes. The permanent changes are called as chemical changes. So that we see in daily life also. Also we have studied about chemical equations, where there will be two parts. One is called reactants and products. In between you have arrow mark showing the direction of chemical reactions. Also you have seen balancing of equations, wherein number of atoms in the reactant side should be equal to number of atoms in the product side. I think you know, for example, if you take water, how is water formed? Water is formed by combination of hydrogen and oxygen, and if you balance it, you have to write 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Balancing means number of atoms in the reactant side. There are 4 hydrogen atoms, product side also 4 hydrogen atoms. Oxygen atoms are 2 in the reactant side, product side also 2. Then we say the equation is balanced. Okay, that also we have studied in the previous class. Also we have seen significance of chemical equations. Means when you say 2 volume of hydrogen combines with 1 volume of oxygen to form 2 volume of water, or you can say 2 mole of hydrogen combines with 1 mole of oxygen to form 2 mole of water. That is the significance of chemical equations. Also you have studied the different kinds of chemical reactions. The first one being combination reaction. Combination means 2 or more substances react together to form a new substance. That is combination. Similarly, you can have carbon plus oxygen. These are called reactants, gives carbon dioxide. So combination means 2 or more substances reacting together. And also we have seen decomposition reaction, where one compound decomposes into 2 or more substances. For example, if you take ammonia, what is the formula for ammonia? NH3. Under conditions of temperature and pressure, it decomposes into nitrogen and hydrogen. So a substance decomposes into 2 or more substances, and if you balance it, it will be 2N here, 3H here. So that is an example for decomposition reaction, and this is also called reversible reaction because you can combine these two and get ammonia. So this already you have studied in the previous classes. And chemical equation for the, now coming to home assignments. First one is carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. The reaction is C plus O2. C is a solid, O2 is a gas, gives carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, hydrogen gas plus chlorine gas gives 2HCl. That is hydrogen chloride. This is the answer. So this is a skeletal equation, and this is called balanced equation, where number of atoms of the reactants or the element participating will be balanced. And coming to second question, write the balanced chemical equation with physical states. Physical state means solid, liquid or gas. So, here calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives calcium carbonate plus water. This is the chemical reaction taking place, and if you want to write the reaction, so phosphorus burns in chlorine. So, phosphorus is P, chlorine is Cl2. Gases like hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine and nitrogen, all these will be diatomic. So, whenever write in a reaction, you must write it as H2, O2, Cl2, N2, etc. So, phosphorus is P, chlorine is Cl2, phosphorus pentachloride. Phosphorus has two chlorides, one is pentachloride, another is trichloride. Here we are taking pentachloride. Penta means how much? You must take valency 5. So, chloride is Cl. So, you get PCl5. So, that is phosphorus pentachloride. And second reaction, calcium hydroxide plus carbon dioxide gives calcium carbonate plus water. Here you must write the physical state. They are asked you to write physical state. Physical state means what? Whether it is a solid or liquid or gas. So, calcium hydroxide AQ means what? Aqueous solution, means you must take solution. Solids will not react. Carbon dioxide is a gas. So, when carbon dioxide gas is passed through the other name of this is slaked lime, is also called slaked lime. So, when slaked lime, the carbon dioxide passed to slaked lime solution, it gives calcium carbonate plus water. That is what we have discussed as while whitewashing, how the color changes. And coming to third reaction, we have potassium chlorate. Note the spelling correctly. This is potassium chlorate. So, potassium chlorate is KClO3 is heated, decomposed into potassium chloride. KCl is potassium chloride and oxygen. And if you balance it, 2K here, 2K here, and Cl is 2Cl and it is 2Cl here. And then you have oxygen is 2 3s are 6, 3 2s are 6. That is how the equation is balanced. Is it all right? You have to write it 2 or 3 times, otherwise you won't get it perfectly. So, that is the home assignment. Now, coming to today's topics, we must know, before we come into the today's topic, we shall see the carrier in chemistry. So, have you wondered what a chemist does all day in his laboratory? Those who work in chemistry are called chemists. Okay, and there are very good opportunities if you study chemistry. And after that, you have to study about displacement reaction, single displacement reaction. There will be double displacement reaction also. And then there is a video on accidental inventions. Lastly, about oxidation and reduction, are also called as redox reactions. So, this is what you have to study today. So, first one, let us see what the chemist does. So, here is a interesting or funny figure. So, these are what are called as chemists. So, suppose you are working in a laboratory, you must be careful. You should know all the precautions to be taken using acids, bases and salts. So, you can see two chemists here, what they do, let us see. So, he says that by using chemistry you can study the properties of chemicals. what are acids, for example, what are the properties of acids? They are sour to taste, corrosive, is it not? They react with metals to form hydrogen gas, etc. So, here he is having a test tube in his hand and he says you can study the properties of chemicals. Secondly, analyze its behavior under various circumstances, means suppose you heat, what happens? Suppose you do not heat, what happens? So, in many cases by heating the chemical reaction become fast, is it not? So, that is also you can say, that is called analysis, behavior of the chemicals under heat. And thirdly, he will find some researches also on the outcome of various chemical combinations. So, by seeing the products, he can do some researches, he can make use of the products and you can use it for many interesting things. Okay. And next one is he can invest new compounds with new uses for daily life. Actually, to start with there were only 105 elements, first it was 65, then it became 105. Now, the number of elements have gone up to 118. All this is possible because of doing so many experiments like this. So, he can invent new and new combinations. Okay. So, these are some of the interesting things we can get from a chemist in a laboratory. Okay. So, do not you think that it will be so much fun to be creative and invent something this way? So, you can also do, for example, if you are washing clothes, you will be using soap, right? You soak the clothes in the water, it becomes wet. Then what you do? You take a soap and all, and if you blow the soap solution, you will see rainbow colors on the bubble. Have you observed? There is some interesting things like that. So, in chemistry is a subject which is full of mysteries, interesting things. It is one such interesting thing. Okay. So, that is why you have to study chemistry and also you have to do experiments, you will get new and new things on this, right. And now, few interesting career options. After learning chemistry, say if you do some BSc or MSc in chemistry, then what are the options you get? You can become forensic scientist. First one is water chemist, means study of water. What are the contaminations in water? Nowadays, especially in Chikbulapur area, there will be fluoride content more, especially in Bagepalli and so on. And even in Ballari area also, fluoride content is more. The teeth becomes browning color. So, like that you can analyze the water. Suppose you get a water from a pond or a borewell or from the tank, you can go on checking the quality of water and you can make suitable changes. And also pharmacologist, pharmacy you have heard. Pharmacy means what? The medicines. What you go to medical shop, you will find thousands of medicines there. Every medicine has got different chemicals in different proportions. So, that is one other option, what you call as D pharma, B pharma and all. So, if you study chemistry, you can become a pharmacologist. And geochemist, geo means earth, connected with the soil, sand, rocks and so on. They contain different kinds of metals present in it, and also they will study about ores and minerals, so that they can take out many metals. And chemical engineering is another course. BE, BE in chemical engineering. It is also a very interesting branch. Lot of demand is there, especially in the factories like soap factory, sugar factory, alcohol factory and so on. So, the chemical engineers are in great demand. And also hazardous waste chemist. See, waste products that come to different tanks, they have to do so many improvements as to make how to make use of that things. So, it is also a very interesting branch of chemistry. It tells about the good use of the waste products. Forensic scientist, if any murder take place, any accident take place or any other theft cases and all, they will use different techniques by the fingerprints, by the hair, by the sweat, by the blood and so on. So, they can make out the detectant. So, these are all the different avenues of chemistry. Why we are telling this is, you should know what are the different uses of these things. It is not merely studying one topic, you should also know what is the future of a chemist. Okay. Now, we shall see what is called as displacement reaction. Displacement reaction, I think all of you are familiar with this chessboard. In chessboard there will be two teams, right? And these two will play. While playing, one of the pawn is displaced, is it not? You know the names of all this. So, when you play on that, one of the pawns will be removed. So, also here is a boy and here is a old man, and what they do, so displacement takes place, reaction where single element displaces another element from its compound. For example, copper sulphide is a compound, zinc is a metal. So, it is a more reactive metal, and this reactive metal replaces or displaces copper. So, you get copper plus zinc sulphate, and it happens only in the solution state. So, copper sulphate, what is the color of copper sulphate solution? Blue color. We also call it as blue vitriol. So, here just like this, boy A is displaced to boy B, means one of the metals in this compound is displaced. In your class also, what do? Suppose you want to sit in the first bench, already 4 boys or girls sitting in a bench, 5th one comes there because some teacher is doing experiment, you want to see it. So, he or she will come and sit and pushes. So, in the process, the boy or a girl in the last will be pushed out, because this new entry has made the displacement. So, that is what is called displacement here. This is like the compound and this is like the element. This element displaces the compound to get a new element and another compound. Okay? That is what is called single displacement reaction. So, there is an experiment here. So, about 10 ml of dilute copper sulphate solution is taken in each of the test tubes, and it is marked A and B. There are 2 test tubes here, A and B. 2 iron nails are cleaned with sandpaper are taken. So, this is iron nail which is cleaned. Clean means what? Free from rust, and that is why you have to rub it with sandpaper. I think you have seen sandpaper. So, one nail tied with a thread is to be immersed in a test tube A. So, this is test tube A. So, here you see one nail is immersed. After 20 minutes we observe that the blue color of the copper sulphate fades away. So, blue color fades away. So, here the copper sulphate is also blue in color. So, this blue color is changed to green color, that becomes ferrous sulphate. And what about nail? Nail will become brown in color because it is copper. So, reaction is iron is Fe, copper sulphate is blue in color, copper sulphate CuSO4, displacement take place. So, copper is displaced into copper sulphate is displaced by iron. So, here iron is more reactive than copper, and that is why it is sent out. So, there is a very interesting experiment. You can also try in home. Copper sulphate is available in market, what you call as mild tuttu in Kannada. So, take a solution of that, dip iron nail, keep for a few minutes, you see the change in color. Very interesting experiment. And why it becomes brown in color? That is because of copper deposited on the nail. Okay. It is a very interesting experiment. Coming to double displacement reaction. So, there will be change of two metals. In every compound, there will be two metals. Two test tubes are marked A and B. In test tube A, nearly 4 ml of sodium sulphate is added, and test tube B contains 4 ml of barium chloride. This is barium chloride. This is sodium sulphate. So, double displacement means here both sodium and barium are exchanged. They become barium sulphate plus sodium chloride. So, that is called as double displacement reaction. Here these two test tubes are to marked A and B. In test tube A, nearly 4 ml of sodium sulphate is taken. This is Na2SO4 means what? Sodium sulphate. And BaCl2 means what? Barium chloride. That becomes barium sulphate plus sodium chloride. Why it happens? That is because of the double displacement reactivity. Okay. So, here what does the arrow mark down represents? It represents precipitation. What do you mean precipitation? Just like the curds, when you churn this curds, what happens? Butter will come. Some of you are experts in that, right? So, the butter will come and the butter will be hidden in the curds. So, also, and what happens to butter? That will float on the surface of curds, is it not? So, that is what is called precipitate, a very interesting thing. So, this experiment also you can try. Same thing is explained earlier, that is by taking same type of reaction, and here a boy A plays with this elderly man. So, what happens? After the playing chess, there will be displacement. There will be displacement of the pawns. Even you can see in the case of carom. In carom also, what happens? When you hit with a striker, one of the pawn is pushed out, is it not? That is what is called displacement. Sometimes two will be pushed out, they will be put into pouches. So here the reaction is called double displacement because, as just now explained, the sodium combines with chlorine and barium combines with sulphate. It becomes barium sulphate and sodium chloride. So this is what is called as radicals. The second part is called radical. The first part is called metal part. Okay. So that is a very interesting reaction. There are so many reactions like this. Not only this, you have a reaction of sodium hydroxide. It is a base, reacts with acid. So when a base reacts with acid, it forms salt and water. You have studied in the previous classes. So sodium chloride is called salt and this is the acid, this is the base. So when a base reacts with acid, it forms salt and water and the process is called neutralization. Here this H and OH combine to form water and Na and Cl becomes NaCl. This is another example of double displacement, also called as double decomposition. Okay. And this is an example for neutralization reaction, where acid reacts with base to form salt and water. Now a small digression we will have. Many important inventions happened accidentally in a chemistry lab. We will see the video.
Sometimes things don't go according to plan. But every now and then, it's for the better. From the microwave to ice cream cones, the accidental inventions on this list completely changed our way of life. Are you ready to be pleasantly surprised? Then hit that thumbs up and let's jump right in. Matches. In the early 1800s, British pharmacist John Walker would routinely prepare medicines using wooden sticks to mix the chemicals together. One day, he noticed that one of the sticks had some substance stuck to it. When he tried to scrape it off, the stick caught fire. And that's how he came upon this brilliant idea to make life easier in the world with no electricity. He started making and selling these cardboard matches, which he later replaced with 3-inch wooden sticks, accompanied by a piece of sandpaper to light them. Walker humbly decided not to patent his invention because he believed it would be easier for him to benefit humanity this way. Matches soon became popular all over the world and are still a useful commodity today. Post-it notes. Dr. Spencer Silver was working as a chemist for 3M Company back in 1968. He was trying to create a super strong adhesive, but what he got instead was quite the opposite. A low-tack yet high-quality adhesive, only strong enough to hold up a piece of paper, but durable enough to be relocated multiple times without losing its stick. It wasn't until 1974 when the use for his invention was found. His colleague needed something to mark his hymnal in church choir, and Silver's sticky papers worked like a charm. The name Post-it notes was later dubbed, and they became a must-have in homes, schools, and offices around the world. Safety glass. French chemist Edouard Benedictus once accidentally knocked a beaker off his desk. To his surprise, it didn't shatter into pieces, but just cracked throughout. He couldn't figure out why until he noticed that the beaker had had a thin film of liquid plastic in it left over from a previous experiment. And this is how shatterproof glass was invented. Implantable pacemaker. Wilson Greatbatch was trying to create a device that would simply record the human heartbeat. He added the wrong electronic component by mistake, which made the product recreate the heart's rhythm. This pacemaker was successfully implanted in the first human in 1960 and has been saving lives ever since. Antibiotics. Scottish scientist Alexander Fleming's laboratory was always a mess. Beakers and papers all over the floor, a desk full of petri dishes with different kinds of bacteria. One day, the scientists found mold in one of the petri dishes containing the Staphylococci bacteria. The mold had formed a sterile shield around itself, killing the bacteria in the dish. Fleming, intrigued, decided to further study the properties of this fungus. He received a Nobel Prize for the discovery of penicillin in 1945. X-rays. When Wilhelm Röntgen unintentionally put his hand in front of an electron beam tube back in 1895, it fell off. No, not really, but he immediately saw an image of his hand on a photographic plate. He noticed that the radiation passed through solid objects and body parts, leaving a shadow. The denser the object was, the more massive the shadow. And now we have X-ray imaging.
Now we will see what is meant by oxidation and reduction. This is also a very interesting reaction that happens, and with a small activity we will see. Where you take a china dish containing 2 grams of copper powder heated strongly. When copper is heated strongly, it becomes cuprous copper oxide, that is called cupric oxide. There are 2 oxides of copper, one is called cuprous oxide and the other is called cupric oxide. So, 2 cancels, you have cupric oxide, CuO. When a small piece of copper powder is heated, it becomes copper powder, copper oxide. Now, when cupric oxide, this copper oxide is treated with hydrogen, then what happens? Let us see. So, this cupric oxide or copper oxide is treated with hydrogen gas. So, in this case, when cupric oxide is treated with hydrogen, it becomes copper plus water, and this becomes brown in color. The black substance what you have taken, when you treat it with hydrogen, it becomes brown. Brown means copper. Is it not? So, here there is addition of oxygen, and when a substance, when oxygen is added, we call it as oxidation, and in this case copper oxide is reduced to copper. So, what is oxidation? Oxidation is addition of oxygen. What is reduction? Addition of hydrogen. Okay. So, here copper oxide is oxidized, reduced to copper. Hydrogen is oxidized to water. So, they are together called as redox reaction. Here redox means RE stands for reducing and this stands for oxidizing. So, when one substance is oxidized, other substance is reduced. Here water is oxidized, hydrogen is not water, hydrogen is oxidized, cupric oxide is reduced. Okay. So, this is reduced. One is oxidized, other is reduced. So, cupric oxide is reduced to copper and what hydrogen is oxidized to water. So, these two together are called redox reactions. Okay. We will see one more example. So, what do you learn from this? Oxidation is the gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen, and reduction is loss of oxygen. Reduction is loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. So, oxidation and reduction together called redox reactions. Redox reactions. To give one more example, this is the second example. Zinc oxide becomes zinc. What is this? That is loss of oxygen. So, what do you call it? Loss of oxygen is called reduction. And carbon becomes carbon monoxide. So, what is it? Oxidation. I think you are clear. If one reaction is oxidation, other becomes reduction. Together they become redox reactions. Okay. So, that was a previous experiment what is told. So, it is a China dish here. We are taking copper powder and heated in a Bunsen burner. So, after heating, this copper powder becomes cupric oxide, and this cupric oxide is treated with hydrogen. You get copper plus water, and in this reaction zinc oxide reacts with carbon and it reduced to zinc and carbon monoxide is formed. Okay. So, this is the example for redox reactions. So, once again you can see here, all of you have travelled in train, I think. Your train. So, India is like the engine and all the bogies, means other countries are like other bogies. So, wherever the India goes, India will be leading for everything. Now, you can see in the world scenario, India is progressing in all fields. When India wins, when India lives, who dies? When India dies, who lives? So, it is like a life for the whole world. It is because of the spiritual background of India. So, our ancestors, the saints, the seers have given good contribution in the field of science also, spirituality also. So, in spirituality, now we can see in cricket field also India is leading, and software field, in all other games also. And recently in the COVID treatment, India is one of the most popular country which is selling lot of vaccinations to many countries of the world, given a very good successful treatment, right. So, here the previous example once again here, cupric oxide is reduced to copper, it is called reduction. Hydrogen is oxidation to water. Okay. So, this is a beautiful example how the redox reaction take place, and new substances are formed. One is reduced, another is oxidized. Okay. So, this is how the reaction changes. Is it nice? Okay. So, what is shown? Copper oxide becomes copper. So, it was here copper oxide become copper, and hydrogen was here, it became water. And what is the symbol represents? Equation. Okay. So, this is an example for redox reactions. So, one more example is copper plus iodine gives copper iodide. Iron plus sulfur becomes ferrous sulfide. So, either gain or loss of oxygen or hydrogen. Yet these are called oxidation reduction reaction. Why? Because it tells about the ions. See, copper atom becomes copper ion plus electrons. So, iodine takes out this electron and become iodide. So, that is how this copper iodide is formed. So, if there is a transfer of electrons also, the oxidation takes place. So, when a copper atom becomes copper ion, here one copper atom loses 2 electrons to become cupric ions, and iodine gains 2 electrons. Iodine gains electron, copper gives out 2 electrons, get converted into iodide, we call it iodide ions. Thus we say copper is oxidized. When substance lose electrons, the reaction is called oxidation, and iodine is reduced because it gains electrons. So, losing electron means oxidation, gaining electron means reduction. Okay. And here one more thing you must note, reaction in which species lose electrons are called oxidation reaction, and the reaction in which a species gain electrons are called reduction. Why it is needed? Because there is neither oxygen nor hydrogen. In such case, we have to take ions into consideration. Okay. Now, let us see some home assignments. First question, identify the substances which are oxidized and the substances that are reduced in the following reactions. H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl gas. H2 plus CuO gives Cu plus H2O. You must tell which is oxidized, which is reduced. And Zn plus AgNO3 means silver nitrate. Zinc plus silver nitrate gives zinc nitrate plus silver. Second question, balance the following chemical reactions. Calcium hydroxide plus nitric acid gives calcium nitrate plus water. Second, hydrogen sulfide plus sulfur dioxide gives sulfur plus water. You must balance it. Okay. Third question, what do you mean by exothermic reaction? Give a suitable example. Thank you. I hope you are right answers for all these things. Okay. Thank you.